Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been quite a while since I've posted a video of the progress on the 6.3. Last one we did, I think, was the thermo switch in my buddy Urban's place. Doesn't mean I haven't been doing stuff in the background. I've been doing several things, moving this project along with other things. First of all, I've been doing a lot of electroplating that I've already shown you. I'll give you a brief look in a minute of what I've done for parts for the 6.3. Also jumped over to some painting project for the 4.5, you know, the 4.5 that got crunched in the left fender. So I've been working that through, get that thing on the road. Weather's been a bit crappy, so I've had to do a lot in the shop and everything down in the wood shop, but that's coming along nicely, and I do have a video in process of all the priming and painting of that one. What else? The engine, we're at a standstill right now because I wanted to jump back on the bodywork of the 6.3, and to be honest with you, I put a lot of money into the engine so far, and I'm giving myself a little break from the big spend. You know, I did pick up some head gaskets, which I'll give you a look at those in a minute, and you know they don't give those away, so I'm holding off on giving the machine shop the cylinder heads for the moment, just like I say, just to hold off from the spendy. And funny enough, you know, some of the most important, some of the most expensive parts of a restoration project, if you were to have a shop do it, is bodywork. But in actual fact, that's the cheapest for me because I'm doing it all, and it's all labour. So that being said, over the course of the last few years, I've talked to you about spinning the car. We made our body cart, obviously, to be able to move it around the shop while it's in situ like this, and that's been wonderful. But we're at a point now, we've got to really dive in underneath. So it means flipping the car, doesn't it? So my main problem is the size of this garage. Let me show you. You can see the front of the car is pretty much as far forward as it possibly can go to allow the door to close but still have enough room at the back. And let me take the camera off and I'll show you my problem. Now, this isn't a bad sized garage, it's a fairly normal sized double garage, but for some reason this one has this stupid curb here, and it rises about 5-6 inches or so, and a conventional rotisserie is going to run into that because, you know, they stick out the back a couple of feet at the back and at the front, and I wouldn't be able to close the door, and that's no good because we do need to close the door because I've kept the other car in there, and obviously for security. So my problem is shifting the car this way, having a rotisserie where we can fully spin it, and also be able to close the door. So I've been brainstorming it for a while. Moving the head unit as close to the car as possible is obviously the best solution, but we're still going to run into this curb if we pull the car too far back. We've got to have the car almost in line with this curb, or even a little further back. If you see this one, it's covered at the moment, but the back of the car comes to there, okay? Admittedly, this isn't a long body one, so it's 4 inches, but see, we've got quite a nice distance here. It'd be great if the car could go further back. So let me show you what I've come up with as a solution to making a rotisserie so we can spin this baby all the way around and the garage space problem. So this is what I've come up with. This is obviously just one of them, and the other one will go out the other end. So let me just explain. Okay, so normally the head unit of the rotisserie is going to sit here with the jack sitting about here and going straight up and into the car. So what I've done, I welded on 2-foot piece of receiver bar here with 3 locking bolts, right? This has got a 2-foot receiver bar that goes into it right in there all the way to here, nice long one. So this head can be moved as far back here as I like, pretty much, locked up to those nuts. Now obviously that's going to make this very rear heavy, and it's going to want to tilt. Now that won't be an issue once the center connecting bar is in, but setting this up, it wants to tilt. So what I've come up with is this foot. This is a 2-foot foot that runs up the tube here, with a little foot here and locking bars here. So this can be adjusted any which way to accommodate. So this head can essentially go all the way back to around here. So providing us with the starter head here, so it enables the car to come this way and give us enough room to close the garage door. This is the head unit. This is 1/4 inch plate both sides. I scored some plate from a buddy of mine. It's got radius and everything. It's been fully welded up. 3 pass welds on these tubes. And this is the spin head here. And then it can lock out at any position. Full 360, you see. And then locked in position with these nuts. And this is where the T-bar goes to connect to the bumpers. I'm yet to make that. And then it's got 4 locking nuts here, or bolts here, to lock it to the correct height. Then we've got a 3-ton ram on both sides, both ends, connected to very large gussets there that are welded inside and out. Now I made those really tall to enable the bottom of the jack to be approximately here, because the reach of this jack is important to be able to utilize the full length of the mast here. So essentially, once this head unit attaches to the car, I can jack the car up off of the cart here. This can drop off the bottom, and then this takes over. Obviously, as I say, we're going to have a long connecting bar that I haven't bought yet because I want to figure out the actual bar length. These casters are actually from the body cart here, so I've got to make 2 more of these because I'm going to put 2 more casters on that big bar there, so it's really solid. And so you can see that will enable the car to come back quite a ways and buy us probably, I'm reckoning about 20, whoops, it's going to probably buy us about 20 inches to be able to send the car backwards. So that's what I come up with. That's what I've been doing the last weekend or so. So I'm really excited. This is the other one I made up. I just haven't put the casters on that yet. And so the car is basically just sitting on the car on 6-ton axle stands. And before, I mean, I can spin it, but once I start removing metal, we're going to have to reinforce the door apertures with crisscross, probably 1-inch square tube bolted on plates to the hinge brackets and then welded to those to make sure we lock the car out, because you don't want to go cutting metal off a unibody with it having the potential to wiggle around, because you'll end up welding it in a wrong position. So anyway, this repair has been at a standstill for a very long time because I've jumped onto the engine, as you know. So anyway, that's what I've been up to. I think it's kind of exciting to be able to turn the car around or completely all the way over, and I've worked out the height and everything. It's just going to clear the lamps, and the garage door will have to be closed when I spin it. Yeah, I'll obviously be shooting a lot of video of that. Gonna go have some buddies. We'll have a car spinning party. So I did use heavy duty 3/16 tubing. The main mast is 2-inch. The outer ones are 2.5-inch tube, and they slide nicely. I have seen ones with larger tube, but the sidewalls end up being a little thinner. So I went with a more compact bar but thicker steel. It don't half weigh a ton, this thing, I'll tell you. It don't look much, but it really is quite a heavy unit. There you go. So I've moved the head that far back. That's about as far as I'd want to go. I'm not going to have to go that far, but that little foot helps stabilize it nicely. And that first locking bolt there is just touching the end of that mating tube there. So you can see it really helps for a space saver. And yeah, this should work really well. All these casters are lockable, so it will lock out. And they're big enough that in the summer months, I should be able to wheel it out there and do a bunch of, you know, messy work out there, so I can get in the garage really messed up. Also, another thing, now that, because this mast is not in the traditional place, which is there, okay, now normally people put cross bracing, you know, just like, you know, the cross bracing on the cart there, see that under there, 45 cross bracing, to stop the mast going this way and that way and strengthening that joint there. Now, I couldn't really do that because this is a movable mast, so that's why those massive gusset plates are there and locks that joint all in together, and that's why we've got 3 bolts there that pushes that into the flat of the tube. And I tell you, that is locked out like you wouldn't believe. That's not moving anywhere. I'm completely confident of all the welding, got good penetration, and I did 2 passes on the square stock, and I've done 3 passes on the round stock, and then also that's gusseted as well. So because I'm going to be, well, not necessarily crawling around under the car, but I don't want the thing collapsing, do you? That would ruin your day. You can hold me to it, you guys. My intention this year, along with all other house projects, obviously wife wants the stuff done around the house, got to do a bathroom and everything, but anyway, I'd like to get new floor pans in this year, and all the welding done on the underside, all the underseal taken off, and epoxy primer. That would be awesome if I could get that done. I really feel we're making progress, and then it can be rolled back round again after the underside is completely done, and then the rest of the bodywork finished off, and then taking down the bare metal and priming. So even though that is a ton of work, you're starting to see sort of progress moving along, you know, giving targets one step at a time, and we'll meet these targets and get it done. Like I say, I'm not in any big rush, so hope you're not watching this channel thinking you'll see this done in the next few months, because it ain't gonna be. But it's been a lot of fun, and I've really enjoyed the feedback from you guys and talking to even people on the phone. It's been just great stuff. So let me take you into the engine room, and I just want to address something on the engine. One of the comments, really, I'd like to say I really appreciate the comments, and he made a really good point, and I did make note of it. So I'm going to show you that, and I'm going to show you the plating, and I'm going to save the paint stuff for the next video because I don't want this one to get too long. I was itching to do a video, you see, and get in touch with you guys to show that I've not disappeared off the face of the earth. Anyway, so let's get in the engine room and I'll show you what's going on in there. Last video of installing the pistons, Glenn was kindly enough to give us a few tips, made total sense. Number 1 is when you're setting this spring compressor, giving it a couple of few light taps to make sure, because this is 2 bands essentially, they could be out of alignment. Making sure that this is seated nicely on the block before you go to push. And let's push this down, and there's one other thing that he mentioned as well. So goes in nice, and I've got my hand underneath guiding it with our trusty little rubber protections for the journal, so that's removed. I'd say one more thing, we get our cap on here, making sure we're getting the right one on here. These surfaces lubricated thoroughly. Get that guy on, and I bet some of you know what I'm going to do. So in the last video, I've gotten used to using that little driver just to tighten things up, and that is not correct, as Glenn pointed out, because you need to feel as you're going in, and that's just completely my fault, and I fess up to that. I shouldn't have done it, and once I did the first one, I realised what I was doing, and once I put the first one in, I put the video out, and I didn't do any for a few days, and I came back and did it this way, the proper way. So, done it by hand, just gently taking a little bit at a time so we can get a feel if there's any obstruction or anything of that nature. Get those brought up. As I say, I'm not too proud to be corrected. That's pulling that stud down, that's why that's pulling. And I do appreciate any comments. So, let me get that torqued up. That's the beauty of having people watching your videos, is that sometimes you forget to do stuff. Or do it incorrectly. 35. That's it. Yeah, thanks again, Glenn, for those little tips. Really appreciate it. What else? We've got the head gaskets come through. Now, those of you that know about the 6.3, these have been no longer available for some time, from my understanding. And but they did have them in at Niemöller in Germany, and I wasn't far away from ordering them, obviously, because we're moving along here. But thankfully, these became available now at the Classic Centre in Long Beach. So I ordered a couple of these up. You know, they run about 300 a piece, which is obviously no small change, but there's not much choice with an engine like this. And they're by L-Ring, which apparently are the best ones to get for this engine. So that's good. We've got those all bought and paid for. Some of you probably have seen it on Facebook and things of those places where I try to buy a Seymour as aluminium blast. It's a aluminium paint to protect and restore back to the factory look. So I picked up a couple of cans and just did some experiments, and I'm pretty happy with it. This is our thermostat housing, and it looked really disheveled and sorry for itself, but it's come out really nice. It's got a nice satin soft finish to it. It's came up great, actually. I'm pretty happy with that. So that's come out really nice. That's all done. It doesn't have that silver look that some of the paints have, you know what I mean? And then we've got the cover. The front cover's come out really nice. Has that nice original look to it. So I'm very happy with that. So I'm not sponsored by those guys or anything. I'm just giving you recommendations of things that I think work. Now, along with that, there's lots of brackets and bits and bobs that are going to go onto the engine as well that I wanted to zinc plate. So let me take you over to those parts and show you how. I'm not going to have to show you zinc plating because I've done that already in previous videos. But any comments you might have, put them in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer from my experience. I'm not a big experienced guy with zinc plating, it's just what I've done so far. So let me show you over. Right, so I've been kind of skiving off work during bits of woodwork. I've been going over to my zinc plating setup and doing those. So these are obviously the retaining rings for the air tanks over here for the air suspension and the various bolts and stuff. A lot of washers and that I've just ordered from Bellmech because I didn't want to get into a lot of the washers, but these are the heavy duty washers from the cylinder head, so I did replate those. That wasn't such a big deal. Various brackets on the engine. These are the brackets for the high tension leads, the HT leads. These are engine hanger brackets that I plated. This is the opposite blanking plate for the starter mode on the transmission housing. This is a transmission plate at the back there, and various wire guides and bits and bobs. So I had some fun this past week doing that. A few engine bolts. I just did them just to kind of experiment a lot of the time. They don't take very long, and any new ones I'll get, I'll just order from Bellmech. The air filter latches as well, did those. Now over here we've got the latches to the trunk as well, and these I did in blue chromate. So these are zinc plated, and then it's got this kind of blue shimmer through it, and I think that came out pretty good actually. So there's a spacer plate as well. That was the first time I've done blue chromate, and I'm very happy with the way that came out actually. Oh, and I also, this is one of the injection pump lines. First time I did a pipe actually, so that came out really nice. You just got to pay attention to these. We've got a little mist area right in the corner here, but I'm not worried about that. So that come out real nice. You do have to neutralise these, and I was chatting to Jeffrey about that. He had done some injection lines, and he had some trouble with some corrosion inside. So these do need to be neutralised inside once they've come out of the muriatic acid bath. Maybe soak them in baking soda and make sure they're thoroughly rinsed off. So I'm pretty happy with the way that came out. Also had a really good sort out in the shop. Bought one of these shelf units, and I went to my friend Don, and he gave me a bunch of used Mercedes parts, and I got a couple of automatic transmissions down here. That's the 6.3 transmission, so that's not going anywhere. But I've got a couple of 280 SE transmissions, automatics. Got a York AC compressor there. What else we got? We got some SL cylinder heads, also a 280 cylinder head that I got from somebody else. Oh, we got 4-5 connecting rods. I got 6-3 pistons up there. What else we got? We got doors. We got sets of doors. They're in the other shop right now, but I got sets of doors, glass, all manner of things if anyone's interested. But anyway, that's not what this video is about. Look at these guys, all the way from sunny Australia, from my buddy Aaron down there. Did me a wonderful deal on these Euro headlights. Chrome's in lovely shape. I am going to set those on my, see, I had bought them intending for the 6.3, but to be honest with you, I think I'm going to stick them on my 280, my 68, because I think they would look really sweet on there, and I think it suits the car. So really happy with those. Thanks a lot, Aaron. Great, wonderful wonderful set of headlights there. Yeah, what else we got going on? I know what. Yeah, these are the cylinder heads, all ready to go to the machine shop. As I say, I'm holding off on them just to save a few shekels, you know, because I'm going to be putting valve guides in now. The valve seats are in really nice shape because I think they were redone, and the last time this engine was apart, and I know it was apart. So as I say, we've got the cylinder head gaskets. What else? Oh, I did notice on this. This is a fluid coupling, they call it, not a torque converter on the 6.3. And see this here, look. See how I dinged up there? That looks like some bolt has come loose and gone flying around in the housing. I haven't noticed any damage on the housing, but that definitely, look at all that. It looks like something's come in contact with that and spun around in there like a loose bolt or something. Hopefully that hasn't caused any damage elsewhere, but I'd love any feedback in regards to what's going to be needed to be done with the automatic transmission. It's not something I'm personally going to get digging into unless it's something straightforward, so I'd love some input on that. One thing before I go, I did make a little post up on Mercedes maintenance on the Facebook group, but Bellmech, if none of you know about this company, wonderful supplier of all things metric in gold. All the zinc plating you're going to need. So they've got the yellow plating and the silver and the black and everything. So I've got all manner of bolts I ordered up, all the nuts and stuff. We've got washers, lock washers, screws, all that stuff. They do an enormous selection. So that's Bellmech. You can find them on the internet. Great company, fast shipping, all that good stuff. So I highly recommend for any of your metric bolts, fasteners for your project. Well, I think that's about it for this video. I wanted to shoot it because I didn't want you to think I'd gone anywhere or given up the ghost or anything like that. I've been very busy while I've not been posting videos. Main thing is not only doing the work, filming the work, and also doing the editing as well. Sometimes you know, by the end of the day, to get round to do the editing as well in the evening, it's a lot of stuff going on. So if I have any spaces where you haven't heard from me, it's not because I've gone anywhere, it's just because I'm doing loads of stuff and, well, gardening and housework as well. So anyway, I really appreciate all your comments. Love to hear from you guys. Hope everyone's well and healthy, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.